Hi guys, Rosstafa here, and I'm back with another Evolve video. This time we're having a look at the second monster in Evolve, which is the Kraken. Now this monster is very much a ranged class. It can actually fly for short periods instead of jumping. And as you can see, the appearance is quite heavily based on Cthulhu from the Lovecraft stories. It's not as hardy as the Goliath. It certainly can do quite heavy melee damage, and you can get stuck in there if you want to. That's personally the sort of playstyle I prefer. But if you want to, you can just sort of hover above the enemies, and your melee attacks actually turn into ranged attacks, which is quite cool. You sort of shoot out these bolts of electricity. I'm actually using the Wendigo skin on this Kraken, so this isn't the default skin that you get. You can actually buy the Wendigo skin in game for real money. But yeah, the flying mechanic takes a little bit of getting used to, because it's sort of more of a gliding mechanic really. Here you can see I'm using my range attacks. You can't fly indefinitely. You sort of glide for a short period of time, and then you use your sort of when your jumps recharge, you hit it again to keep on flying. I think you can hover indefinitely actually, so I don't know how it works out exactly. But your attacks as the Kraken, first and foremost, are sort of this lightning bolt ability. I can't remember the names of them, I'm sorry. Where you have to charge up this sort of lightning bolt that crashes down on the enemy. It's a little tricky to use, as it takes a few seconds to recharge and you have to aim it. It takes a while to build up, sorry. So the best time to use it is when you've got a small space, your enemies can't really move around too much, or they're backed up against a wall, or you use it on a group of enemies all at once. Your second attack is sort of these lightning mines that you shoot out. You have 3 of them, and they all sort of start aiming towards the enemy you're aiming at, and once they hit that enemy they do fairly significant damage. So what I tend to do is, because I play the Kraken as kind of close quarters, I'll wait until I'm quite close to my enemy, and then I'll use all 3 mines at once, and they don't really have time to run away from them, so they just sort of hit them and do fairly significant damage, and then you can finish them off with your melee attacks. The third ability is sort of, I think it's called Aftershock, which is where you basically just send out a shockwave of electrical energy. Yeah, there you can see it there. That takes a few seconds to actually build up, so you kind of have to use it when you're in the middle of all the enemies, which is why I kind of prefer to play the Kraken as a close quarters monster rather than range, because that ability is really a close quarters ability. Your fourth and final ability is called Vortex, I think it is. Basically you shoot out a blast of energy that pushes all enemies back. This can be good to sort of create some breathing room between you and the enemies, and you and the hunters, or just doing a bit of extra damage, and then you can leap in with your jumping ability. This is the Aftershock, by the way, and close the gap again, sort of like finish them off maybe. But yeah, I really like the Kraken. It's quite strong, but as said, it doesn't have nearly as much health or armor as the Goliath does. One good thing to do is to sort of glide up above the enemies, sort of try and single one out, and then zoom in and sort of pick them off. It's quite a cool little tactic to do, because you'll sort of have a little bit more range than the Goliath does. That was my sort of lightning ability, as you can see. Here's the Aftershock again. As you can see, it can do fairly well in melee. It's still pretty hardy, even though it's not as tough as a Goliath. It still does quite a significant amount of damage, but I'm almost at half health, so definitely don't want to stay in there too long. The one thing about health is that it doesn't really regenerate unless you evolve. You'll get a little bit back if you evolve, but by default it doesn't regenerate, whereas your armor actually does, and you get armor from eating local wildlife as well. So once you have evolved, you'll lose all your armor, and it'll take a short time before it regenerates. So when you evolve, a good thing to do is to basically just sort of wait a little bit and eat some animals to get your armor back quickly before re-engaging the hunters. So now I'm at stage 2. My focus should be getting to stage 3 as quickly as possible, getting some armor back. The hunters are closing in behind me, so I need to get some distance between us. The good thing about being able to glide is obviously you don't leave footprints, so it's pretty easy as the Kraken to sort of hide and get some distance between you and the hunters fairly quickly. A lot easier than it is as the Goliath. And also I should add that you don't leave footprints when going through water, so it is a good idea to follow streams and stuff when possible. So I would say that the Kraken is probably my favourite monster. I don't know whether it's the best. It certainly requires a little bit of skill and a little bit of time to get used to, especially after coming from the Goliath, which in my opinion is fairly easy to play. Kraken certainly is not. You have to be a lot more careful because you can't take as much damage, and the flying mechanic takes a little bit to get used to, so it's quite easy to sort of fuck up and sort of be floating around and getting stuck and stuff like that. So these guys are catching up with me pretty quickly, unfortunately, so I'm going to sort of wail on them a little bit and hopefully get some of them to respawn or something. As I said before, you really want to focus on the healers, the medics, especially if they have a Lazarus. I don't think they do here, but Lazarus can basically revive fallen teammates. He doesn't heal quite so much. He more focuses on just bringing them back from the dead. So your focus should be definitely on Lazarus if the enemy team does have him. As I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, but basically for each of the 4 hunter classes there's 3 different characters you can play, and each of those characters have different abilities. And even if you only like playing the monster, it's still useful to know which hunters bring which abilities, because you know which ones to focus down the quickest. Now I'm getting very low on health here, so this could end badly. It's getting quite tight. But luckily I've done quite a bit of damage and I'm running on fumes here pretty much, so I need to get the hell out of there quickly. Just a few more shots and I would have died then. But like I said, the good thing about the Kraken is that thanks to the glide ability, you can cover ground pretty quickly. And because I killed quite a lot of them and I did quite a lot of damage then, I should have quite a lot of energy to go towards my next evolution. But I'll still need to kill a few things before evolving. I will get some of my health back when I evolve, but the main thing I'm going to be using is my armor. That's really what's going to be taking a lot of the damage. Luckily though, because I've damaged the hunters quite a lot and they've had to be revived, they'll have less health than they did before. See, unfortunately I could have got a buff from that guy, but the hunters are closing on me, so I have to get the hell out of there. I think that the Kraken is definitely the best looking of the monsters in Evolve. Definitely looks like Cthulhu. The fact they can fly, you got to remember, because you can fly, you are sort of a little bit more obvious on maps like this where there's a lot less trees and stuff like that. By the way, don't run through flocks of birds, it's a terrible idea, I really shouldn't have done that. On maps where there's not a lot of trees or anything, you're a lot easier to spot when you're in flight, so it's actually sometimes better to just stay on the ground and creep. Those red marks down there, by the way, are mines. I've got a lot of my armor back, which is one good thing, so if I do get caught out now, I stand some sort of chance. Whereas with but if my armor does run out, I'm pretty much fucked. This guy's on his own by the looks of it, which is a terrible idea. used his shield up already. As an assault class, you really don't want to use your shield too quickly. It's best to sort of wait until you've taken a little bit of damage first. But that guy used it way too quickly. Hopefully, I can't remember because this video is pre-recorded. I can't remember whether I actually get to stage 3. It is possible to win in stage 2, but you just have less health and stuff to burn through. So I managed to get to stage 3, and I've done a lot of damage to the hunters, so they're going to have less health. They're going to be easy to take down at this point, even if they do manage to respawn. So I'm in a good place, even though my health is annihilated. I've only got 3 bars left after evolving. I'll get my armor back, and I should be able to kill hunters fairly quickly. Ideally, I want to do it before that dropship comes in. You can see in the top left there's another dropship coming in that's going to bring any hunters that are dead back. So I want to try and kill any remaining hunters before that dropship does come. Because if you manage to kill all hunters, then, you know, obviously you win instantly. Whether they've got a dropship coming in or not. You can also win by killing the power relay on certain maps, so if I get this down to 0 health, I automatically win. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to kill them before the dropship comes in, so I'm just going to try and kill this power relay. There's one little chap here, so I'm going to try and take him out. He's not got much health, so that's their medic down. They're not in a good state at all at the moment, so wailing on this power relay between them and the amount of respawns they've had to have, I've pretty much won this, even though my health is quite low. So now you can see the dropships come in there, and the 3 hunters are coming, but I'm still going to be able to win this. They're 1 down, their medic's actually down, so they've got no heals coming. And I'm going to burn his shield off. He's popped that really early. Doesn't matter that they've popped the arena, I can still have them at this point. It's quite nicely aimed lightning strike, if I can say so myself. So that's 1 down, 2 left. I've just got to make sure they don't revive him. It's quite messy, I've almost lost my armour, but that's 2 down, just 1 more to go. This is a bucket, I think, so this guy's a support class, but I've got him anyway. He's running on fumes now. And the dropship's not for another 1.5 minutes, so I've won it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. Got one of the Wraith coming soon. Leave a comment, subscribe, cheers.